Well folks, what's the crack? Saturday evening, I'm not long home from work now and I'm just out. I'm putting out a bit of fertiliser. You can see the paddock is pretty bare here behind me, so this is one of the hardest working paddocks I have. So the cows spent kind of from the end of February time until there a couple of weeks ago out on this paddock. I was feeding them a bale and stuff, so it is used and abused, this paddock. I also put dung on it earlier on in the spring as well. So I'm just giving it a bit of a top up there. I'm giving it 27.5, and I want to spread that on it first because you can see it's all poached and hoof marks on it, and I'll roll it after, and that'll just roll in the fertilizer as well. Other years previous, I've often put a shake of grass seed over it and kind of overseeded it. There's no need this year. You can see there is good grass cover on it, so it'll all shoot up. Matter of 3-4 weeks, there'll be ferocious grass out here. It is always a good paddock to grow grass. It just needs that extra little boost, and as I said, a little bit of TLC, and it'll probably look the same again next year unless I manage to win the lottery or something and build a slatted shed. But yeah, that's what we're at here this evening. You see, I was out topping two of the paddocks last night as well. Paddock down the end of the land here and a paddock out the back of the house, and tidying up after the cows are done and the other young cattle that are down there, and just keeping it cleaned off, keeping away the weeds and helping promote new growth for the next rotation at grazing. So now that the fertiliser is done, we have the roller on, and we'll just give it a bit of a roll. And the ground is a little bit hard for doing this. It's not ideal, but it'll help it. It'll help it. And just, as I said, get it ready for when the grass is up. Just make it easier on foot for the cattle. It'll also make it easier for me when I'm cleaning it off with a topper or a mower, and just save you cutting all them tufts of grass. I had actually rolled this already about a month ago. Then we got about 2 weeks of torrential rain and the cattle wrecked it all again. So that's why I'm back doing it now. So what better way to spend an evening sitting in a tractor seat instead of a pub seat? I think I'd rather be here. So you can just see there now, guys, it's nice and flat. Probably isn't even coming out that great on the camera here to be true, but it is actually very well rolled. And you can still see a fair amount of hoof marks. I've done 3 full laps of the whole place basically, so I've gone over each spot 3 times. It's as good as you're going to get. It'll show up better now, I bet you, in a few days time when the grass kind of rises again on it. You'll see how good it came out. And then of course we got a little spell of rain which we're due to have, I think, in the next few days. That fertiliser will act, the grass will take the water too, and it'll really green up. I would say in 2 weeks time you won't even see a brown patch across that field. It's usually very quick to come back once I give a little bit of it. So just to clarify, if there's any new followers, no, not all my paddocks look as bad as the one up there. The rest of them all look pretty good in fairness. I'm just down here now where you seen I was out topping yesterday evening, so you can see it's all cleaned off topped. So I have yearling cattle down here that have been grazing it for about the last 2.5 weeks. And in fairness to them, you know, there's not many of them, but they managed to do a good grazing out on it. But what I done last night was I came down here, skinned it with a mower, and I leave them in here probably till Monday now, and they'll eat around all the headlands and around the ditches, around the fence line to get where I couldn't mow, obviously. I can do that down here, whereas I can't do that at the back of the house. When I top at the back of the house, I have to move them out straight away because there is often at times bits of ragworth up there. Ragworth is a noxious weed. It's very, very poisonous to cattle when it's cut. They won't eat it when it's grown, but when you cut it or pull it, they'll eat it and it will kill them stone dead. Now, I've no ragworth down this end of the land at all, thanks be to God. It never appears down here. But as I said, there is bits of it do appear at the back of the house. And yeah, so that's why I can do it down here, but I can't do it up there. Would like to, but I can't. And of course, if I still had ewes and lambs and sheep, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with ragworth, because they'll eat it in its very young stages and it'll never get a chance to get ahead. It's not as toxic when it's quite small, even to cattle. If the cows do kind of eat it or something like that, it's not as bad, but once it starts getting up over kind of 6-8 inches high, it is lethal. So you do not want them eating that. But as I said, they're doing a good job out here now. They're going to clean up around the pond fence as well, and as I said, let them out into nice fresh grass Monday morning. Come on, we go for a walk. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. How are you? Come on. Come on, change direction. Come on, back this way. Back this way. And back this way. Come on. You got to be quick to keep up with me. We do these rounds, you know, every night. We get our steps in. We're like all the old women you see down the local GAA pitch. Get the walk in, you know. Come on, keep up. 10,000 to go. I have my steps done today, miss. This is a cow and a calf there that was born a short while back. That's about as close as I can get to that calf, because that calf is like a deer. It's very flighty. But he has a great mother. She's lots and lots of milk. And hard to say, is this calf early or the rest late? But we will have another cow calving very shortly. And there's that calf taken off. We will have another cow calving very shortly. Look, I never really care, to be honest. I calve kind of end of April into May. It's run a bit later this year, but as I said, doesn't really bother me. Once they're alive and well and looking after themselves, that's all good in my books. And just while we're here beside this calf and cow, I was telling you about ragworth. This is ragworth in its early form. I'll zoom in a second so you can see the leaf, and people are going to be, oh Jesus, that's cancerous. That's cancerous. with all the different kinds of chemicals and different things I've been exposed to in my life, and I'm still exposed to on a daily basis, be it through fitting tyres or farming or whatever you like, the least I'm worrying about is touching a plant. Alright, so save the messages, cool the jets. That is ragworth. So as you can see, this one isn't cut, right? And it's just on the line. You can see where I kept out last night, because that's as far as the cows can reach. So when I go to cut this paddock, when they're done here in maybe 2.5 weeks time or 2 weeks time, I'll move that fence over that way. Sorry, I'll be moving that fence over this way, and I'll skin all this bit that I didn't do the last day, and just have it cleaned off. You can see the rest of the paddock is cleaned off there behind me, nice and bare. That's the way you want it. That promotes new growth to come up, nice fresh shoots, and be a great field of grass here again, as I said, in about another 2.5 weeks time, 3 weeks time even. It's going to take them a while to get through the next few paddocks anyway, because as you can see, a serious crop of grass there behind me at the moment, and they're doing a great thrive in fairness to the cows. So they kind of needed that. They had a hard old winter in fairness to poor old girls, but we are making up for it now. Compensatory growth, lads, works wonders. And actually, while we're on the topic of ragworth, you know, all the eco warriors will be out and they'll be saying, you shouldn't be taking away ragworth, you shouldn't be killing it, you should be promoting biodiversity. It is an invasive species, number one. And yes, the cinnabar caterpillar is very pretty. The people in Kilkenny are pretty fond of it too, because it's yellow and black. And the moth is even nicer to look at as it comes out in red and black. But it doesn't matter. It's a dirty, dirty, noxious weed. Once upon a time, they used to fine farmers for it. I'd imagine that law is still in act, it's just not carried out. But you will see parts of the country where the place is yellow with it. Absolutely yellow with it. People like that should be fined. 100% behind that. Because the problem is it just travels everywhere. It wrecks land. Obviously makes it harder for grazing. And potentially, when people who don't know no better go pulling it or cutting it, it kills livestock. Great thing about the summer is you can go to work, you can do a day's work at your job, and you can come home and you can get another day's work done. So we've the paddock sorted, with the topping done last night, fertilizer out today, rolling done, a couple other jobs I got done this evening, and now we're going to get the power washer out and do the house. So I managed to borrow that off a neighbour of mine, which is great. I'm going to power wash all the footpaths, because you know yourself, they go green and manky over the winter. You get kind of algae and stuff on the house, and give it a spruce up for the summer. And the good thing is when you have lots of sunlight for the next couple of months, it keeps it clean. So I'm going to see, can I get this all done before it gets dark. The inspector is here. You giving out? Yeah, he's always giving out. That cat never stops giving out. That is one of two of the troublemakers. 2 cats here for those of you who... And the other 2 savages are over in their kennels there. 2 dogs. I just keep them in out of the way when I'm trying to get work done, because although they're great and everything, next thing they'll be biting the hose or something, or they'll be running in front of the power washer, or chasing the cat, or God knows what to be up to. Although them, the cats, the dogs, the whole lot, they get on quite well, and even with the chickens, it's all pretty harmonious for the most part. But when you have this going in the background and you can't be always keeping an eye on them, better off to have them locked in, because the yard here isn't fully secure yet. I need to do a bit of fencing around the yard, and when the yard is secure, then you'd have a bit more peace of mind for both man and beast. Say hello. Speak. Say hello.